Hey guys, welcome to the Kevin Show. Today we're going to be ranking black people. As you can tell, due to a lot of the people added and some people missing from this list, that it was created by a white person, but we are going to do the best we can with this tier list. I searched and searched, and this is the one of the most filled out ones I could have that has some semblance of representation of what I'm looking for. Of course, there's some people I have no clue who they are. They even have this nigga from that one TV show, the 90 Day Fiance shit. Total caucus subterfuge. You have EDP, a bit blasphemous to have him on this list, and not even have. I don't even believe Michael Jordan or LeBron James are on this list. But due to the circumstances given to me, this is I will do the best I can to deliver a fair tier list. So my criteria for this list is a 30 point score, 10 points, three categories, 10 points each to quantify the black person's score. So the first is impact. Essentially, what have you done? What do you do? How do you do it? Right? No, I messed up. Future Kevin. So the first is ability. What do you do? How do you do it? Essentially, what is your what is it that you can do that others can't do? Are you a specialist? Are you a jack of all trades? These things are important and integral to the ranking. The next is impact. To what level has your abilities or existence impacted? This isn't talking about the black community, it's just overall impact. We're not doing a list of within the confines. It's a pure impact of just how much have you. If we hear that name, what level of oomph, of machismo, is representative. And the final score is blackness. This is not about dark. This is not about skin color. It's not about dark, light. In context to your blackness, the amount of your skin color could play if it's relevant to your impact score and your ability to, if this makes sense. So it's blackness is overall it's something understood if you have a percentage of it. So how I'd score myself, right, being a half black, barely half black person, I can so on my ability score, I can't dance very well. I've been told I'm stiff many times. That of course would impact my score. I can rap. If you want me to freestyle, I will be the number one or two top freestyler within a 1,500 square foot radius, and I can guarantee you that. And it doesn't even matter the percentage scale of African American gentlemen within my sphere. I will be one of the best, as well as ability to sing. I can sing most R&B standards fairly flawlessly, and that is not to toot my own horn. This is inherent black ability in which was gifted to me. So I would give myself on that potentially an ability. I'd say a 7.5, a good 7.5. The dancing really does cut into it, and and the lack of ability to be perceived as a man who can say the N word, even the way I said it right there, affects my ability score. Impact. I'm my impact has not been incredible. You know, I am still working my way up in relevance, hoping to be some level of relevant within this world. So I'd give myself a three, a good three, a three. Let's do a three. Okay, I have a lot of self confidence in myself. And I have potential. And blackness. Lastly, this is an overall, like you said, this is a, it's something that's not purely quantifiable. It's more of a feeling, a vibe. This seat, this is a good example. This is not, there's no sparkling water in this. I reused this glass bottle and filled it with tap water. That adds to my blackness score. Um, I wear slides in public with socks. That adds to my blackness score, right? I own three do rags. That does add to my blackness score. I'm a big basketball enjoyer. You know, but I do speak with a bit of a trailer park inflection. I have a bit of a verbosity to me, you know, and these things, not saying if you're black you can't be well spoken, it's just the way I go about it. You know, because I see Malcolm X on here, very well spoken gentleman, but he goes about it in a way that does not affect his overall cumulative blackness score. I would give myself, I can say a seven, a good seven. Okay, so let's add up this score. Okay, 3 plus 7 plus 7.5. 17.5 out of 30. Honestly, I can live with that. So let's go into our rankings. The first person we have is Beyonce. Okay. Overall, I'm thinking let's throw her in C to start. Ability has some good pop, has some good club hits. Kind of weak on the balladry. Not a single strong ballad, and to me that affects your ability score. Great dancer. Has a so ability, you know, I'd say like an eight. I'd say an eight. A bit performative, but that kind of comes with the territory. Impact. I don't think it's as big as people would assume. I'd give her a, I'd give her a 6.5. I'd give her a 6.5. 8 plus 6.5, right? And overall blackness. See, there's some heavy hitters in here, and if you just compare them, right? Like maybe for the women, because see, Rihanna's down here. I would definitely have Beyonce at a lower blackness score. Just I would give her a I would give her a six. Okay, a 20.5 score. Let's be as fair as possible. Let's find exactly what the percentage these percentages are. Of 30%. Okay. 68.33. What is that? What is that representative of? 60. Grade. What is that? Because I'm trying to be scientific with this list. Well, yeah, it is a D plus. So we're going to give put Beyonce at the top of D tier to start. Okay, Big Shaq. Honestly, okay. The fact that I even know this gentleman, the maintained relevance is fairly impressive. But okay, first ability. He's a pretty funny he's a funny fella, right? He can carry a tune well enough that the song was a song people partook in. That matters. It's not easy to make a song that people will listen to, even if it is comedic. Ability, I would give him because there's not much to say. I mean, if he maintained his relevance, the ability score would be better. But that's of course more of a dictates dictates that dictates impact more than anything. So let's do impact. He had a short career. I would say within African American circles, he wasn't as relevant. It was more of people joking on British black people. So I'd give his. So what did I say? Okay, ability. Let's say six, right? And impact. I'm gonna say five. Five. Overall blackness. I think he's a caricature. I really don't know. And this doesn't have to do with you gotta acting black. It's more of it's not as genuine, right? If he was a genuine roadman type fellow, that would add to his score, but he's playing a character and he wasn't able to sustain this ability to play characters. He didn't come out with another character. He just was stuck in this box. So I would give him a five. Five's too high. Four. 15 out of 30. Okay, let's see where this brings us on our grading score. Because that's about half. Yeah. Okay, number one, I'm getting rid of E because that doesn't exist in real life. So top of F for now. Top of F. Okay, Biggie Smalls, a rapman, a hip hopper. Okay, ability. He was a strong rapper. Had a good fashion sense to him. A pretty cool name, but ultimately he is not at the level of Tupac. We don't need to talk about songs. It's more of just. But no, we are talking about ability. Excuse me. But yes, so talented gentleman in general. I'm not a huge Biggie fan. A lot of his music, to me, definitely is just kind of like false storytelling. He's talking about shoving AK-47s up rectums and such. But I will give him a seven on ability. Impact, truly a very big impact. I will not lie. Especially for the inflamed community, the larger individuals. I would say an eight. I would say Nate. There's really not much to say. It's Biggie Smalls. I mean, you hear the name and you're like, yeah, that's a big old gentleman. He was out in the Bronx, I believe, and he was just doing he was doing debaucherous acts, and he was rapping. He was spitting on the block, right? And blackness. This is where it gets tricky. He did run with Mr. P Diddy. That does matter. That does matter in context. I personally don't believe Biggie Smalls was living I don't think he was. Excuse me. I have to insert my light. I'll edit this out. Edit this out. I don't think Mr. Smalls was truly that person. And this is not saying, oh, black people need to be criminals. What it's saying is that it'll affect your blackness score if there's a hint of if there's a lack of realness. If there are questions to be raised. So I will give him 6.5. The numbers don't lie. I'm not out here trying to, I don't have an agenda. I'm going with what the numbers tell me. So, okay, 71.67% on the score, which is a C minus. I can live with that. I can live with Biggie Smalls on the C minus list. Okay, William Cosby. In retrospect, not a gentleman who was, in retrospect, not a gentleman who was above board in his actions, of course. Ability, he was a decent actor, an okay comedian. Never really moved me too much. I don't think he moved. I don't think he was as funny as other comedians who could potentially be on this list. A very safe, you know, pandering type of comedy. Impact. His impact wasn't incredible to when it comes to you know it was more of a caucus impact. Once again, this isn't about uplifting or denigrating any community, black or white. It's about overall. There's too many stories of him disrespecting other black comedians like Eddie Murphy. speaking down, being against swearing, against the likes of people like Richard Pryor, who would score very high on this in terms of impact, much higher than Bill Cosby. And blackness overall, I mean, yeah, you can't be diddling and doing the dirty with people without their consent. That's just not a good thing to do. It's truly not a good thing to do. So ability, I'll give him a five. Impact, a five. Um, yeah, blackness, a three. So 13. Well, this clearly puts him at the bottom. Honestly, let's think about it. So out of 30, I think if your score falls under 15, let's put you in the actually white. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if that would affect my blackness score, but I don't know who that guy is. Let's see. I'm gonna check with Chat GPT, see if they know who this guy is. That could also affect my blackness score now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I apologize. So we'll have to move on to Cardi B. Okay, Cardi B ability, a decent rapper, has like one good song. It's the I'm up and I'm up and I'm up. That one's a pretty decent song. Um, she was on that one. She was a reality star previously. She knows her way around a microphone. She can the gift of gab. Um, I'd say let's say six. Let's say six. Impact, a pretty big impact, but I would argue the impact is more in Latin communities. That's nothing against her. It's just this is a black people tier list ultimately, and do think that negates your score. Um, so six. Okay, so I'd give her impact. I'd say another six. Fair enough. In blackness, um, this one I can't. I don't want to think too deep on. It's just a feeling. Give her a 5.5. Another 17.5. So what is that? What is that percentage wise? Okay, so put her top of F. Top of F above Big Shaq. CeeLo Green. Okay. So ability, incredible singer, very, very, very talented singer. Um, Good dresser. Wears big sunglasses. A rotund gentleman. These all matter. Um, yeah, very talented. I honestly would give him like an eight. An eight for ability. An eight for ability. Very talented gentleman. Impact. This is the thing. This is where it gets tricky because Crazy by Gnarls Barkley to me is a minimum top 10 song of all time. It can be played in any venue, any event. and it's a very, very, very strong record, and that at least he puts a minimum six impact score for me, just from that song alone. And then he has "Fuck You." The impact isn't as revolutionary, but it is impactful nonetheless. It's a bit cheesy, but he carries the cheese very well. He was also on The Voice. That does take away, and he was into some an altercation, I believe. I'm not sure exactly, but I know that's why we didn't hear from Mr. Green for a good minute. I'd say impact, let's say a seven, balancing out all those things. And blackness, he was in the Dungeon Family, a confidant of Future and Andre 3000 and many others. Oh, LeBron is on this list. So, but no Michael Jordan. It's ridiculous. But so, so I would say, because this isn't saying there's a this impact that. So when I say fashion, I don't mean necessarily he doesn't dress black. I'm just saying it affects his blackness score with how he dresses. Because T Pain, the way he dresses would add to his blackness score. The way CeeLo Green dresses takes away from his blackness score. Like I said, it's a metaphysical, spiritual thing. So I'd say 6.5. Okay, 21.5. I run a tight ship. I'm not out here just giving out 10 out of 10s, okay? Like, unless it's truly earned. 71.67 once more. I think that, where would that put him? Yeah, right under Mr. Smalls. That's fair. That is fair for me. Okay, the Black Panther. I forgot his name. That's terrible of me. Rest in peace, of course. What is his name again? Yeah, Chadwick Boseman. Okay. So this could be controversial, but the way I rank this, but I'm not trying to get too emotional in this. And in my when it comes, I'm viewing purely statistics. Okay, so ability, very good actor, incredible actor, well spoken. He has a presidential aura to him. Honorable. He didn't throw it in your face. What he was going through. So I can give him an eight. I can give him an eight for ability. Impact. Black Panther was huge. He was in 42, played Jackie Robinson. That's huge. But neither of these movies felt huge the same way, like Friday feels. Like where like Chris Tucker is like, or like Training Day, right? Where Denzel Washington is just, you know, explodes and is like the Equalizer. The Equalizer, Denzel Washington. That might be, yeah. That movie is held to very high esteem. Impact, I'm giving him 6.5. In Blackness, I think to me he makes sense. He to me he has an aura to him. To be honest, if I'm being super real, it has a bit of a British kind of African, not African American, because we're doing black people tier list. If this was just dark skinned individuals, he would rank much higher. But this is a blackness tier list. So I'm giving him a 6. The numbers don't lie. I hope I don't offend people. 20.5. You know, I'm not the arbiter of these systems. This is just truly what the spirit tells me as I go. So we're gonna put him below Beyonce with a 68.33 if my numbers line up. Okay, so now we have Chance the Rapper. Ability had a good album. It was good. Had a very bad album. And a lot of mid albums in between. Something to point out, he was pretty much the first guy to do the cloud rap thing, like rap on the spacey beats with the flow that's a lot of people are on are kind of dancey style. So I would give him a 7. No, 6.5. 6.5 in ability. Impact. I don't because he has inspired the likes of like rappers like Lucky, a lot of underground trap, guys, a lot of rage rappers these days. Like he had a little Uzi Vert, people like this. Like he had a very low key impact, but I think it was more in a caucus sphere. I think a lot of people around the time weren't who had. I think his impact was very short lived, though it was massive. Because after it was like pushed by media, it was like, oh, he's Apple Music. Well, when's the mixtape dropping? Like that type of stuff. It wasn't like real impact, Like the next gentleman we're about to see. 6.5. Let's give him a impact score 5.5. I can do that. Blackness. He's like he's like a child of a politician who like knows Obama and like he did a Kit Kat commercial. Like that's 4.5. 16.5. You can put him F tier. Let's put him above Big Shaq. Let's be fair, okay? Okay, Chief Keef. This is a heavy hitter. Ability. Come on, dude. Chief Keef, bro. Dude. Top 10 rappers of all time. If you know hip hop, he's top 10. Like great dresser. So many inspiring quotes, so many influential times. Whenever Chief Keef speaks, people listen. Still relevant to this day. Impact, huge impact. Maybe top 5 peaks of all time. When it comes to black people, minimum top 10 peaks of all time. Still relevant to this day. Is on a top 5 Kanye West song. Everybody got dreads from him because him. Everybody was rocking the fits he was rocking. So far, ability. I'm gonna say a 9. Impact. I'm gonna say a 9. Blackness. Come on, dude. I don't know if it gets any realer than Chief Keef. Like Chief Keef has kept his head down, stayed solid, made good music. Hasn't allowed himself to get too high or too low, but still maintain relevance and is a leader of the culture to this day. I'm giving him a 9.5 on Blacklist. 27.5 out of 30. I think that's fair. I think that is very fair. Okay, what is that? That is a 91.67 percentage scale. A minus. Yeah, I can live with that. Top of A right now, okay? DaBaby. Okay. See, there is a fairness to my list. I'm going to reward those who deserve it. DaBaby. Okay. Ability. He's a one-trick pony. Let's be real. He has some good freestyles. On like the LA Leakers and stuff, but it's been like him the same song over and over again. Now he's doing like cooking videos, so it's like okay. Ability 5. Let's be real. Impact had a huge impact when he came out. The pack in the mail, it's gone. He had a pack in the mail, and now he's gone. He was gone with that pack. So let's give him a. But like I said, short-lived. People got tired of it quick. Let's say a 5. Blackness. I think the baby's a real dude. I think he's pretty real. I think he's consistent, but I think he's just a kind of corny. It's something that's hard to put your finger on, but there's a corn factor. But I wouldn't put him. But I'd have him higher than a lot of these gentlemen. Like his corniness isn't that crazy. So, because I don't want him in the actually white. I just have to be, like I will give him a 6. So yeah, he's barely above actually white. I'm okay with that. Don Cheadle, ability, incredible actor. Seems like he has a good sense of humor to him. I've seen things where he's made me laugh outside of the context of acting. Seems like he'd be a good hang. Let's give him a 7.5. Impact. His impact is he's maintained. It's more of like a longevity impact, like a John Stockton, or a Robert Parrish, someone who's been around for a long time and has been consistent. So I'd give him, let's say a 7. Yeah, I can live with that. Blackness. When I would say blackness, I'm just think of him is if he's at the barbecue, is he getting flamed? Is he hitting him back? Is he like, or is he taking it with like? Because obviously, if you're getting cooked, like you can there's a level of like you be like like you can go with the flow and roll with the punches, and I feel like he's the type of guy who rolls with the punches. I don't know if he's but no, I think he'd be throwing some jabs back. I think so. I'm gonna give him a 6.5. I think he's passing. 21. Okay, what is that? Where is that rank? 21. 21 out of 30. 70%. Okay, where is that? It'd be top of D tier or bottom below 7. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, put him bottom C tier right now. Okay, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. Okay, ability, very talented writer, actor, producer, a pretty good rapper. I prefer his singing more than his rapping. Truly, his first album to me was trash. Not, I mean, the 3005. Hold on, that one's pretty good. The one before that was absolute butternut butt cheeks. The next one was pretty good. Awaken Your Love had one really good song. The other ones were okay. But I think more in the show Atlanta is where he really brings his ability score up. I would give him an 8, an 8 on ability. Impact, I think he's had a sustained impact and level of relevance. I mean, I would give him a 7. A 7 on impact. Yeah, I can live with that. And blackness score, I mean, he's kind of like the nerdy. It's like, but that's not bad because he's true in it and he embodies it and he's aged well into it. Because I remember him from doing stand-up comedy, talking about cereal. That was a big joke, big hit in the black community. The community show knocks a point off or two. Like, who watches that shit? It looks trash. I'm sorry. Like, if you think that's funny, there's a reason you wanted to leave. Okay, I don't even need to watch it to know that shit's probably whack. That gives him that there's a hit. He loses a point there. But since then, I feel like it's just been on the up and up. I'm gonna give him a 7.5. 22.5. Okay. 22.5. Let's see what we're looking here. 75%. What is that grading? A strong C. Let's put him at the top of C. I can live with that. Dr. Dre. Ability, maybe one of the top 10 ears in music history. Very he knows his role. If he's gonna rap, he's not writing the raps. To me, that adds to your ability score. He knows what he's good at, and he knows how to use the people around him to create a good record. And for me, musically, that's all that matters is the record good. So ability, I'm giving him an 8. Yeah, I can live with an 8. Um, Impact. I mean, huge impact. We gotta do a 9. I, I I can't. I don't think I can go lower than a 9. Like he's not of my time, but you can't say Dr. Dre didn't have a gigantic impact. I mean, like however you feel about Eminem, I mean, he did bring him to relevance. To me, that's a wash because I mean I know a lot of black people who love Eminem. My uncle loves Eminem. He'll die for Eminem, and he's from fucking the hood in Philadelphia. He loves Eminem. Um, so the NWA, like at the time, yeah, like I'd say Snoop Dogg was a more of a net plus because NWA is like iffy. They were a bit performative, but yes, to further the point, um, yeah, Eminem brought 50 Cent, and you wouldn't have 50 Cent without Dr. Dre ultimately. So yeah, a 9 is fair. Blackness, see, this is where I think things go down. I've always felt this isn't about being acting black. It's about if I talk to you outside of your usual, are you going to be the same guy? I don't know. I don't really feel that with Dr. Dre. I feel like he is I don't know, there's just a lack of genuineness. I feel chameleon energy to me. So I'm going to give him a 5.5. 22.5. Okay. 22.5. Okay, another C. So I'll put him right under Donald Glover. Okay. Childish Gambino. Actually, excuse me. I believe he retired that name. It is Donald Glover. Okay. Drake. This might be my most controversial one yet. As a light skin myself, I have to I believe in the connective tissue of blackness past the skin color. So okay, ability, gotta give him a 9. I'm sorry. You know how many hits he's written in so many different genres? The just acting, he can do it pretty much he can pretty much do it all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Impact, I mean, you can't go to a club. If you go to a club that if any club that knows their salt, 90% of the songs will be Drake songs, and if the Drake song comes on, everybody's screaming the lyrics. They're all in the middle, they're jumping, they're having a good time. Okay, you can't say that about many people. But Drake and Kendrick beef did take a notch off his belt. I think he out rapped Kendrick in many ways. I really do. But I mean, if you're texting Millie Bobby Brown, it's pretty strange. I mean, I'd have to have a conversation with the guy to really understand, like to really be like, okay, like what were you trying to get at? So, Impact, still an 8. Still an 8, even with the hit. I can't go lower than an 8. and Blackness score. This will be pretty controversial, but I feel like Drake is genuine in his lack of genuineness, if that makes sense. I just think that's how the dude is. I really think he loves hip hop. I really think he loves. I just think he's just kind of like he's just the way he goes about it. He's like a chicken with his head cut off. Like he's like, oh, Lil Yachty's wearing this. I'm gonna wear this. He's like, oh, but you know what I mean? Or like, but I feel like there's purity to it. I feel like there's an honest attempt. I will give him a seven. I can't, yeah, I'll give him a seven. 24. That's fair. I can live with a 24 out of 30. Let's see what that is percentage wise. 80%. Okay, what is that on our score? So it's the top of C, bottom B. I will give him bottom B. I am not doing that guy. That's not relevant. Eminem. Okay. To continuing the controversy. I don't even know he's on this list. I mean, fair. Okay. Eminem first albums had some crazy bops. Okay, and black people were fucking with Eminem. We can't act like just white people were fucking with Eminem. Okay. Later on in his career, he's really tanked his score, really tanked his ability score because his newest shit is just bad. It's not good. Ever since Rap God, it's just been downhill because to this day, some tracks on Recovery, they're not too bad. Like, Not Afraid is corny, but it's kind of slaps, bro. I'ma be what I set out to be, without a doubt, undoubtedly. And all dudes look down on me. I'm tearing down your balcony. Okay, let's not act like that isn't pretty cold, right? So ability score, I'm giving him a 7.5 because his first three albums carried him so much. I mean, you can list a lot of those tracks. You can just boom, 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 like bangers on that shit. First three albums, Impact did a huge force portion for the white black community. And by that I mean black people who act white and white people who act black. So I can 7 point. Let's give him a seven. Even seven. Blackness. Honestly, this is crazy to say, bro. I feel like I don't know if there's many people who'd be more comfortable at a cookout than Eminem. I feel like he fits right in. I feel like there'd be some side eyes and confusion at first if you don't know him. But I feel like he start talking about Funkmaster Flex and DJ Jazzy Jeff and Martin and shit like that, and they'd be like, "Hey, this dude's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy." So I'm gonna give him a six. I don't think you can go higher than a six. 20.5. 20.5. Very controversial, I know. Very controversial, but the numbers take me where they take me, and I follow. 68.33%. What is that looking like? A D plus. Let's put him above Beyonce in D tier. Damn, Chadwick Boseman. People are gonna be so mad. Oh my god. Okay, here you go. Here's a heavy hitter. Harriet Tubman. Ability? I mean, she was moving the slaves out. She was doing what had to be done. Harriet Tubman. Let's say, let's give her a, let's give her 8.5 in ability. Okay? Impact. I mean, shit. 9.5. That might be one of the biggest impacts. It really is not much to say. It's not much to say. Blackness. We got to be a 10. When you think about blackness, you think about Harriet Tubman. You think about Harriet Tubman ultimately. So 28. 28. I can live with that. 28 out of 30. What is this? Obviously, it's an A, but we gotta be sure. We gotta check. We gotta dot our T's and cross our I's. Yeah, so that would leave her under Chief Keef. Hey, I'm not making the rules here. Jackie Robinson broke a barrier breaker ability. I'm not sure how good he was at baseball. He was probably pretty fucking good. I'm not a baseball guy, but let's give him an 8.5, okay? He probably played some damn good ball if he was able to get in there, you know? Impact, I mean, shit, that's a 9. That's a 9. It's Jackie Robinson. He's known to this day, and nobody knows shit about baseball. I don't know anything about baseball. Blackness, he kept his head down, did his thing, you know, just got up and played ball. I'm going to give him an 8.5. Okay, 26. That leaves him right under. Yeah, okay. Jay Z. Controversial. I'm not a huge Jay Z guy. Not a huge Jay Z guy. Ability, I think he's a good rapper. I'm going to give him a 7.5. I think he's a good businessman, a good rapper. I think he's into some tricky stuff. To me, that does hurt his abilities. I don't know if that's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't throw that into his ability score, but I do think he's a talented rapper, great beat selection. I mean, he gave us Kanye, you know, that's important. But yeah, I can't go above 7.5. That's where my heart's telling me. Impact. Everybody was wearing New York hats because of him. That's important. But I feel like his impact was carried by Rihanna and Kanye later on. I think he kind of was a coattail rider, though he is the guy who put them in position. He was jacking. To me, he was jacking some swag. I won't lie. But I still think it's a 7.5 impact score. Blackness, he's really mixed up with. He loves Warren Buffett and people like that. Not saying you can't fuck with white people in, you know, certain religious groups who have, you know, who got some money to them and can impact your career, maybe do some dastardly dirty things with P. Diddy and Jeffrey. So to me, I feel like he's not who he's putting out himself to be. So I'm gonna give him a 6. 21 out of 30. I can live with that. I don't want to let my Jay-Z bias get in the way of that. 21 out of 30. 70%. What is this? 70% is what? Yep. I will say, yeah, below Don Cheadle. That's fair. A tiny bit above Eminem, just I can live with that because Jay-Z didn't sully his career the same way. Joyner Lucas. So we have Kanye West. Ability. I mean, one of the greatest producers of all time. He was on that song with the die for my city, ride for my city. He had a great verse on that. Can rap his butt off. Great designer. He's the reason everybody started wearing slides because of him. He changed the fashion game. I'm gonna give him a 9. Yeah. Yeah. 9. Impact. I don't know if anybody's really rivaled his impact. I'd say a 9. It's a very big impact. Just sustained greatness over time. And I'm not gonna knock him for the controversies because he's done controversies on both sides. He lives in purity. It's not perfect, but it's true to him. And that adds to the blackness score as well. I feel like when he was wearing like those blue contacts, to me that might be the only really big hit to his blackness score. He was really like, don't be wearing contacts and like looks corny. It's nothing to do with like skin. It's just like, why are you wearing contacts where you're a grown man? So blackness, I'd give him an eight because I mean, he did have the foray with the Kardashians, but also, hey man, it's what he likes. My only real issue with him is some of the weird, like, sexual deviant stuff. So that does give him a knock to me personally, but 26. Okay. So what does that put him right under Jackie Robinson? That's fair. Kendrick Lamar. Okay, if I did this list 10 years ago, this would be very different. Okay, ability. I think this Pimp Butterfly is a great album. Good Kid, Mad City is a good album. Sing About Me is an incredible song. Has some very good songs. I think his discography is a little inflated because the narratives aren't as tight as people say they are. But ultimately, he is talented. But I feel like he's been chasing this I need a number one hit shit for too long, and that has affected his ability for me. So I'd give him a 7.5. Impact. I mean, the Not Like Us shit really did give him like a point or two. I'd say 7.5. Blackness. I mean, I don't think you can argue really the blackness of Kendrick Lamar. I mean, the point off is just the realness factor. I do feel like he has an insecurity of like, like I gotta be a pop star guy, but it's like we just want you to work with Robert Glasper and Thundercat, bro. Like just do that, you know. So I'm gonna give him a 7.5. I just feel like he's an overall 7.5er when it comes to these things. So hey, I'm sorry, I don't do the I don't make the rules here. Okay, I am simply I'm simply an arbiter of truth. 22.5. 75%. That is a C, I believe. 75. Let's put him right under Biggie Smalls. Right under Biggie Smalls. Okay. Kevin Hart. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Key and Peele. It's kind of crazy to throw them in together. Ability, funny guys. I'm gonna give him a 7 in ability. Impact. If Dave Chappelle's not on this list, but Key and Peele on this list, that's pretty crazy. Because you can't have their impact be higher than Dave Chappelle. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna have to give him a 7 because I mean, to this day, people are hitting the saying AA Ron doing the pump thing. Because I would have Keegan Michael Key above Jordan Peele in this ranking, just statistically. I mean, Get Out was good, but all of the big hits are from Keegan when it comes to overall impact and blackness. I'm gonna say it's kind of the Donald Glover effect. There's a realness to him. I'm gonna say 7.5. Yeah, 21.5. What is that again? I'm getting a lot of 21.5s. I feel like, but I mean, a lot of people are. Not everybody is above average. I mean, like, I hate how people do these lists and they just inflate numbers. Like, I'm trying to be scientific in my approach. 71.67. Okay. C minus. I can live with that. I'd like him right above Jay Z. Yeah. Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba. Okay. Ability. Kobe could rap his ass off. He could hoop. Writer. A great diction. Ability to command a room. I'm giving him a 9 with a bit for ability. Impact. 9.5. There's not a lot of impacts bigger than Kobe Bryant at his apex. And even to this day, I mean, like, of course we lost him and that adds a lot, but I feel like if Kobe was still alive, I mean, he was winning Oscars by the time he left this earth. Blackness, I'm gonna say 8.5. I don't need to think too deep about that. I mean, that's just how I feel, and that's a big barometer of this list. And I feel like the quicker I can get to the answer, the truer the statement is. So, 27. Okay, 27. I believe that puts him right. To me, I feel comfortable putting him right in between. Yeah, that works to me. That works for me. LeBron James. Okay, ability, talented podcaster, not a great reader of books. Longevity, longest career, second best player of all time. Yeah, I guaranteed that's definitely how I feel. I'll give him an 8.5 in ability. He just wasn't as well rounded as Kobe. Impact. I don't think his impact is at the level of Kobe. I just don't. I think it's at 8.5. And blackness. To me, he does have a Donald Glover, Key and Peele type energy to him. I think he's true in himself. I think but at the same time, I don't think Kobe would. I could be wrong, but I just don't think Kobe would just roll over backwards the same he has for like China or other countries. So I will give him. I'm stuck between 7.5 and 8. 7.5. 24.5 out of. Okay, that's fair. 7.5 blackness score. What is that again? Okay, so 24.5. What is that percentage wise? %81.67%. Okay. What are we looking at? B. Have him right below Drake. That works for me. Lil Nas X. I mean, come on. This one's just a feeling. I don't know. I don't think I have to like do a. I mean, brother, call me when you want, call me when you need. To me, that's a good song, dude. We can't act like that's not. He has some good music, but he completely fell off. Completely fell off. He went too extreme. Went too extreme. I wouldn't put him in the actually white, but just too extreme. Lizzo. Yeah. A little bit above Joyner Lucas. That's fair to me. I don't want to think too deep about that one either. I'm just her music is like Hallmark music. Like, like gift card music. Ability. Okay, Malcolm X, ability, incredible orator. By the end of his life, he started to figure things out, and his perspectives were very nuanced, and he's a strong mind and an incredible leader. I'm giving him a 9.5 ability. Impact, 9.5. You can't really get a bigger impact than Malcolm X. He stayed true and real to the death. I mean, like sick glasses, and he had the potential to grow. He had a perspective in the beginning, and he was willing to find the truth in that perspective, and that's ultimately what got him killed. And okay, blackness might be the first 10. That's a 10. I don't know if you can get blacker than Malcolm X. 29. So that will put Malcolm X in S tier, and I feel like that's very warranted. Marvin Gaye. Okay, here you go. Ability, beautiful singer songwriter, effervescent man. What's going on? Damn near flawless album. You can't really skip. You can't skip a track. It just flows. Give him a 9. Okay. Impact 9. I'm not even thinking about it. Blackness 9.5. This is a simple one for me. 27.5. Yeah, Marvin Gaye. Of course. Have you seen the video of him like on the couch singing? Fuck out, dude. Like, dude. It's crazy. Okay, 91.67. What is that? Let's put him. Yeah, I can live with that. I don't know if my numbers were exactly correct, but do I like that better? Yeah, I can live with that. I don't know who that guy is. I'm really not interested in doing memes. Megan the Stallion, ability 5.5, impact 6, blackness 7. I give her 7.5. I don't feel like she's fake. 19. Higher than I thought it would be, but I mean, this is where the numbers take me, and I'm not gonna be fake about it. I'm gonna be real with this. 19 out of 30. 63%. What is that? Top of D. Honestly, I feel like her score is better than Beyonce's. Yeah, I mean, Beyonce has the better music, but I just feel like it makes more sense to me. Okay, so Michael Jackson. Oh yeah, ability. That's a 10. Michael Jackson is the strongest, maybe talent to ever live. Sings, dances, acts, directs, produces, writes. He can do literally anything you need him to do. Performs. Best performer of all time, hands down. Impact. That's a 10. That's a 10. Blackness score. See, he did a vitiligo. But the problem is the plastic surgery. That's where you dock a point or two. Because if it wasn't for the plastic surgery, swag, just how he carries himself, his realness, like his advocacy, all those things like would make him a 10. But I have to dock a point or two off for the plastic surgery because that is not that's not realness. Vitiligo's okay. Your skin's turning white, like fair enough, but we're looking for realness. I'm gonna give him an 8.5. The nose job takes off a whole point. I'm not mad at the hair. He got his hair was burned off. So okay, 28.5. I can live 28.5 out of 30. Hey man, it's fucking Michael Jackson, dude. Like, come on. 28.5. What is that? What are we looking at? 95%. Okay, where's that? Damn. I mean, shit. You'd only got to put him above Mike. I'd love for him to be an S, but he was so close, so close. It's just those. It's the nose job, man. Michelle Obama, Martin Luther King. Okay, let's see about this. Ability, great orator, maybe the best public speaker of all time. I'm giving him a 9. Impact, he had a big dream, and he followed through with it. Impact 9. Um, Blackness. I mean, I do knock a point off just because I don't feel like I feel like he was put in a position to deliver a specific message. I'm gonna give him an 8. 26. So that puts him, I'll say, right under Rosa Parks. I can live with that. Morgan Freeman, incredible actor. I'm gonna give him a 9 for ability. Impact, I'm gonna give him an 8, just because longevity. And a lot of his biggest roles, he's never been like a star. He's a star, but he's always kind of like, he's like the biggest number 2 of all time. He's like he's like the Scottie Pippen. He's like a Scottie Pippen type. And the fact that Michael Jordan's on this list is ridiculous to me because he'd potentially be an S tier. He'd potentially be an S tier, but and okay, blackness score 8.5. Okay, 25.5. I believe that put him. I'm gonna have him right under Marvin Gaye. Muhammad Ali, okay. Ability. 10. I mean, he was spitting game. He was whooping people's ass, telling them exactly what he would do. Muhammad Ali, impact. I mean, come on, man. He believed in his faith. He went to jail for his beliefs. He showed up every time and did what he had to do. He went out fighting. Is that another 10? Yeah. Blackness. I mean, if you think of swag, if you think this is a 30, Muhammad Ali is top of S tier. I I can't argue. I cannot argue with that. Okay, yeah, Muhammad Ali is just a overall legend. Just you think of legendary, you think of Muhammad Ali. Like I really don't think there's a weakness in his game. It could be era bias, but yo, just dominant force. Nicki Minaj. I'm partial. I'm a fan of Nicki Minaj. I'll be honest. Ability. I think the best top two female rapper, of course. Top two or three, like Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, Nicki Minaj. The best female club rapper by far. Just like Drake, if you're at a club that knows what they're doing, you're gonna hear super bass. You're gonna hear the monster verse. There's a lot of things you're gonna hear that are just standards, and you're gonna know most of the lyrics. I'm gonna say 8. Impact, maintain relevance without even having a huge song for a long time. Just aura, just I'm gonna say 8. I can't go lower. Blackness. I feel like because there's this recent thing with her, the Trump shit and all that, but I don't feel like that impacts her blackness score. I feel like we have plenty of family members who are on that type of shit, and she's just living her truth when it comes to it. I'm gonna give her an 8. 24. I think Nicki Minaj is solid, very solid on this list, and I think that's fair. I feel like a lot of people would want to lower her impact, but I just don't think that's. I don't think that's you're being realistic. I mean, we have to respect Nicki Minaj at the end of the day, you know. 80%. What is that looking like? It's top of C, bottom of B. I'm gonna put her right below LeBron James. I can live with that. I'm not doing the meme. Barack Obama. Oprah Winfrey. I mean, like, come on. Obama's dropping bombs on people. Like, I don't really care about a president. I don't. Oprah trying to expose Dave Chappelle, trying to expose Kobe Bryant. Slithery Snake, not a fan. Okay, Pharrell Williams. Here you go. Ability, incredible producer, relevant to this day, great dresser. He popularized the weirdest hat ever. 8. 8.5 talent. He's very versatile. Impact. 8.5. I feel like he's maintained a lot of relevance and over time, and I don't feel like it's really slowed down. Impact and overall blackness. To me, he's also in the ilk of a Donald Glover, a LeBron James. Like he just knows who he is and he accepts it. I'm gonna give him an 8.5. 25.5. So that's to me right above LeBron. Do I want him over Drake? Yeah, because they had that beef and Pharrell didn't. He didn't hold his own. He didn't give Drake a piece of his mind. He let Drake run over him. And to me, that matters. Okay, Rihanna, here you go. Ability. I think top 3 modern pop vocalists. I think if you put Rihanna on a song, you're getting the emotion out there. You're getting that hit. Like, you're feeling it. She's moving you. I'm going to say a 9. I think Rihanna's very talented. Impact. I'm going to say an 8.5. I think Rihanna hasn't, without even releasing a song, she's still Rihanna, you know, like she has a crazy aura. She got Drake to just completely lose his mind over her. Blackness scale. The only knock is rolling with the Jay-Z and them people. But once again, she carried Jay-Z. I'm gonna give her an 8.5. 26. 26. So to me, this puts her. Yeah, I can say right below Kanye. That's there. That's fair to me. Okay, Rosa Parks ability. I mean, she didn't do much. I respect the. I mean, she did a lot, but at the same time, she didn't do the things that Harriet Tubman did, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Jackie Robinson. She didn't. So I'd say I'd give her just for intention alone. I'm giving her a 6 in ability. Impact 9.5. Blackness. I mean, I don't know a huge amount about the lady, but I mean, I'm gonna give her a 9. Yeah, 24.5. 24.5. So that puts her Yeah, I'd put her right. So what is that exact? So 24.5. 0.5. Okay. B minus. Yeah, top of B. Let's put her right above Drake. Okay. Samuel L. Jackson. Okay. Ability 9. 9.5. I think he's an incredible actor. Even more so than Morgan Freeman. I think maybe the best number two option. If Scottie Pippen, if that would make L. Jackson Scottie Pippen, and that would make Morgan Freeman maybe Draymond Green. Uh, so impact, huge sustained impact. I'm gonna give him a 9. Blackness, I don't think it gets too much blacker than Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, he's a little Hollywood for me at times, but I mean, you can't knock him too bad. I mean, he still carries that mystique. 9, 27.5. I'm gonna put him. Yeah, I can live with that. Snoop Dogg ability. I don't think he's the most talented guy ever. He had. I'm gonna give him a 7.5 when it comes to talent. I think he was really carried by his producers, and he didn't really maintain that relevance when it comes. I mean, that skill, like the ability. I don't think he really cares about being as about the artistry aspect. Impact. I'm gonna say 9. Huge impact. And I do think on the blackness scale, I do think Snoop Dogg's is real. I think he, to an extent, I feel like he's quick to sell out though. I've definitely feel like I see too much of Snoop Dogg, and he's always trying to sell himself and sell himself out. So I'd sell himself short as well. So I'm gonna give him a 7.5. Okay, 24. I can live with that. 24 out of. So I believe that would put him. Let's be exact. 81.67. B minus. I'm okay with him right under Nicki Minaj. Okay. Stephen Curry. Ability, greatest shooter of all time. 9.5. I don't think you've ever. I don't think you've ever heard. I mean, yeah. Fuck it. Yeah, it's Stephen Curry, dude. Keeps his head down. You haven't heard anything bad from him. A family man. I think the whole Aisha Curry stuff is blown out of proportion. I think he's cool. I think he's not tripping. Time will tell, and it could bump. It could be in effect impact. I say I don't think he had the worldwide impact same as a Kobe Bryant, but I think it's a 9. I think he changed the game, especially for light skinned gentlemen. He does have two black parents. He's a different type of which is something people don't really know. It's a bit of an aside, but it's something. It's a food for thought. Blackness. I think Curry's real. I think he's never tried to be someone he's not. I think he shows up. He's loyal. He keeps his head down. He works and he grinds. He's grinded harder than maybe anybody ever in the league. So I'm gonna give him an 8.5. I'm happy with that. 27. Okay, 27 out of 30. Very high score for Mr. Stephen Curry. And 90%. What does that put him? Top of B, bottom A. Okay, so Yeah, I like him right under Marvin. Right under Marvin. I can live with that. Okay, so Steve Harvey. Yeah, he's got some. He says some funny shit. But yeah, who the hell is that guy? I don't know who this guy is. I'm sorry. Terry Crews. He had the Old Spice commercial. Yeah, The Rock. Okay, ability. 9. 8.5. I feel like at his peak, insane talent. But a lot of this, the sameness with the movies, really knocked a point or two off. But his peak was greatest wrestler of all time. Impact, you got to go with 9. Blackness, that's where it's iffy. I'm giving him a 6. Yeah, I just don't feel genuineness from him. I feel I feel like there's a divide, and I feel like he's not living purely in his truth. Okay, 23.5. Let's see what that is. How we're looking here. 23.5. 78.33. Okay. C plus. Yeah, I can have him right below Donald Glover. I can live with that. The Weekend ability, I'm gonna give him an 8. Impact, give him an 8.5. Yeah, great singer, great songwriter, revolutionized modern R&B, if you want to call it that. Impact, I mean, has a sustained, consistent, relevance over a long time, and yeah. So yeah, 8.5. And let's see, Blackness. I do feel like as well with him, there's a level of not living his pure truth. I will give him a 7. A 7. 23.5. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much right. I'd put him right. I put him right. Yeah, that works for me. Okay, T Pain, talent, producer, writer, singer. Let's give him a 9. Impact, I mean, one of the biggest peaks of all time. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 8.5. Blackness, I think T Pain's real as hell. I think he's exactly who he shows himself to be, and I think he's aged very gracefully into that. I'm gonna give him, yeah, 9. 26.5. Yeah, T Pain, just real dude. Overall, just 88.33. Let's see what that is. B plus. Put him right above Rosa Parks. Travis Scott. Okay, this one's tricky. Ability. First album was good, and then he just immediately fell off. 7 in ability. He's not complete. He doesn't have a complete lack of talent. He just Astroworld was pretty good. Astroworld was actually good. It was a good album. Impact 7.5. Yeah, I can live with that. Blackness, like I said, there's a lack of realness. I'm gonna have to go 6. 20.5. Okay. How are we looking here? 20.5. Honestly, I may have been a little bit too fair on him because I think there's a potential. 68.33%. Okay. D plus, top of D. Remember, right under Eminem. Tupac. Okay, here you go. Ability. Give him a 8.5. I think he's a good. I think he's a good, very good rapper, great storyteller. His overall swag and you know energy, impact. I mean, energy aura. Impact. I'm gonna give him a 9.5. I don't know if there's much impacts higher than Tupac. Blackness. There's a very small inkling of like a. I don't know how real he is, but at the end of the day, it's Tupac. You know, like just iconic and legendary. If he was living the bit, I mean, nobody lived the bit harder than Tupac. So I'm gonna give him a 9. 27. Let's see where that puts us. Okay, a 90%. He's definitely an A. So where I'm put him right behind Rosa Parks. I don't think Chief Keef has that same question. Yeah, I'm put him. I mean, Harriet Tubman. Excuse me. I'm gonna put him right under Harriet Tubman. Tyler the Creator. He just feels. He just feels. He feels good there. Usain Bolt. Talent, ability. 10. Yeah, 10. I mean, fastest guy ever. What are you gonna say about that? I mean, impact. 8.5. He had a cool pose and he ran really fast. I mean, blackness. I feel like he just kind of came and went. Just overall, in this his realness. I mean, like it's more of like an African swag. It's not like because I'm talking about African American black people. So I'd give him a 7. 25.5. That's pretty high. 25.5. 25.5. How are we looking? 85%. Okay. B. I'm gonna put him right above Snoop Dogg. I can live with that. Will I am? I don't know. I just don't feel. He feels good there. He feels good there to me. Will Smith. See, this is a tricky one. Ability. 8.5. Great actor. Impact. 9. Just huge star for a long time. But blackness. 5.5. There's just a lack of realness to him. Yeah, it's just a lack of realness. Actually, this is my first 5. 22.5. Let's see how we're looking on the math. 75%. What is that? A C? C. Okay, let's. Hmm. Yeah. I can live with that because his early career carried him a lot. Okay, Wiz Khalifa, ability, let's give him a 6. I'm not super impressed by Wiz Khalifa. Impact, let's give him an 8. You know, he carried his weight. Blackness, I think, yeah, I'd give him a 9. I think he's just a very real, just is who he is and is not ashamed of it. 23. Okay, let's see what that's looking like. 23 out of. So that'd be right above. I'd put him above Jay-Z. I don't want him to have him above Key and Peele, though. Is Zendaya, our last person we're rating. Ability, talented actress, model, you know. I give her a 8. Yeah. Impact, I'll give her a 7. Not, I mean, yeah, I really don't know. Like, it's not anything crazy. She's never had like a big movie, never really done anything super special. It's just, she's Zendaya, you know. We just know her. Blackness, I feel like, yeah, an 8. 23. So yeah, I'll put her right above Will Smith. Right above Will Smith. Okay, so here is the final list. I will see if I want to make any changes, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. But yeah, this has been the Kevin Show, and this is a Kevin tier list. I'm yeah, I mean, I'm happy with this list. I feel like I put a lot of thought into it, and I tried to break it down as scientifically as I could. So I appreciate it, guys.